Here we are, live again with Spook Talk. We got Marie here. And me, Maria.
And Maria. As you're coming on, say hello. I'm going to kind of lower this so you don't think I'm naked. How's that? Hopefully
Good.
nothing falls.
Not like the first time.
Yeah, I was like, oh
I was like,
my.
oh.
It's feeling a little chilly. Oh my gosh, this is why we should have put harlots on there. I forgot.
I really like harlots, man. I
It's
freaking
true
love
though.
it.
I can't help it. I'm just a little slut. Let's see. And I put makeup on today. I'm not a plain Jane, so I'm excited. I'm like, where is YouTube on this thing?
Oh yeah, I need to share the link.
Yes, if you have Twitch, I don't have Twitch. Share Twitch too. If you
can. I don't know why that song stuck in my head. Was it playing on your phone?
I was playing the emo music.
Oh, is
Well,
that
in
why?
fact, well, in fact, as I'm pacing the cues of the corridors, I can't help but. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's my singing version. Don't you love it?
I do love it.
Okay, maybe if I. There we go. It has. There we are.
Do 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 do.
Share. There we go. Snapchat.
So, let's see. We really need to work on sharing our lives before we go live.
I didn't know that we could do that.
Like, we need to let everybody know we're going live before we go live, or when we're going live, because I really suck at that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Well, you mean like advertising? Because we did pretty good at advertising. Okay, hold on. I gotta turn this down. It's just repeating.
I was like, I keep hearing myself, and I'm like, brain stuck in loop.
Yeah. Eyes up here. Okay.
Copy link. I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. I need to quit making up words to songs.
Well, if you're coming in, say hello so we know you're here. We're just kind of sharing the link out real quick. It's what takes an hour. Feels like. Okay, so, and then we got the chat up here so we don't miss your comments.
Oh, and we have our other host, but she is resting. She is relaxing today.
Do we want to send it to Ray? Or...
I'm posting it on Facebook.
Okay. There we
go. Do.
I don't think I ever share it to Snapchat, so that might be interesting. Okay, so today we're talking about
hopefully
life after death.
I don't remember. It wasn't important.
So, I was just saying, so we're talking about what happens after death, like different theories, like religious, ancient, new beliefs. So, did you get a spooky story today?
No. I have to, so, I have some, like, people have told me some stuff, people that are in my family. So apparently, when my great grandma died on my dad's side, that, uh, so she came and visited one of my cousins
Mm-hmm.
and was like, and then my cousin was like, oh, grandma's here
Oh,
after
hi,
she had
Grandma.
passed away.
Oh.
And then, there was another family friend who he passed away. And then when my grandma had to tell whoever, they were like, "Oh, well, he was here visiting me, talking about his mom."
Yeah.
So, like, I think people can go visit somebody before they cross over. I guess is the word to use.
So, yeah, I really think that's a thing. Like, I have a whole theory of like what happens. Um, of course, we won't know until it actually happens. But it
Yep.
is said that before you die, there's someone that's gonna kind of come and take you home. So
Yes.
you never die alone. Like, there's always someone there to pass you. And I really love the subject. Like, I like hearing different stories and theories and from people that like are. It's not generic. Sometimes when the media starts getting into it, they listen to it. But basically, like, if you're in nursing hospice care, I follow
Mhm.
some women on there, and they all have the same things. Like, as soon as they're like, oh, hey, I'm up and at it, I'm in a better mood, I have a lot more energy, and then they're like,
Yep.
oh, my husband's here who had passed away so long ago, or my grandparents or parents or whoever, um, and then that's kind of how you know, like, within like 24 hours or so long, that they're going to pass away. Um, so I'm trying to remember. Like, I had a theory. I had this written down years ago. Like, when you die. Sorry, I just need to get my brain together for a minute. I haven't thought about this in a while. So
You're good. We got
your
time.
yeah. So your brain, like, when it's shutting down. Again, this is my theory. I don't know this to be true or not, but you'll kind of go. You'll have someone there to kind of guide you through. Like, you're not dying by yourself. They're here to take you home, so to speak. And you're
Yes.
going through basically some clouds. You're flying. You're whatever, and you somehow end up in this like waiting area. This waiting area is super important because it's where your life flashes before your eyes. So you're seeing it like a movie. Like, so maybe for us it'd be like a blink of an eye, but for it might feel like you've been watching it for like a year, you know? And
Yeah.
so you're watching all the important moments, which is really had integrated into my life because I do that a lot. Like, I'll see something and I'm like, oh, this is so amazing, and I'll take it in and I'll think, okay, when I die, this is going to be in my little movie, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and so you go from, and then you're like just kind of determining, like, what's going to happen next. Am I going to go to heaven or hell? Now, of course, I believe that to a certain extent for the most part, unless you did something really bad. That's a different topic. Anyways, so you go into this like determining like what was you're trying to figure out when you're watching these movies, like, what was the meaning of your life? Like, did you do what you were supposed to do? Right? So, did you because you don't die until you've served your purpose. Like, everybody has a reason for being here, whether it's like an objective, like starlight,
A
um,
quest.
like a quest, kind of, but you pick,
Sorry, nerd over here.
no. So, but you pick these before you're born again. Like, so you chose this contract that you're coming into. So you're looking at, okay, did I fulfill this purpose? Did I do everything right? And then you could say, like, you could go to heaven or hell. Again, not everybody believes that, and that's okay. I also believe in reincarnation, so you're kind of like by that point, I believe you're coming in there, you're deciding where you're going. Let's say you go to heaven, or you go to a good place. And from there, after you get to decide, like, am I going to do a no-sell contract? Or am I going to stay here? I'm not really sure. But that's from what I remember. That was my theory. I still believe that to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, but like you said, we're never going to know for sure. But that sounds like it could be a pretty good theory.
Like, yes. I don't think I'm wrong, but you know, maybe there's some minor details in there that.
I mean, I don't think you're completely wrong.
Yeah, because you still see, like, the good moments, I think. I don't think when you're passing by your life, you're seeing the whole story as a negative film.
Yeah.
You're seeing things like, oh, remember that time that I was, like, watching my kids take their first step, and you're really, like, remembering and refilling those emotions, and, like, or when you finally got your baby out, or maybe it doesn't have to do with kids at all. Maybe it's when you first got your very first kitten, you know?
Yeah.
So, or your first job, or whatever it is. But I don't think it's so much about work. I think it's more like a spiritual thing, feelings. But this could be the July Cancer in me.
Oh my gosh, so you just said July Cancer. That just reminds me of a conversation my kids had yesterday.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, they were talking, and the youngest was like, what does it mean that I'm a
Taurus?
Yes, thank you. I don't know what happened to my brain. It just kind of went away.
My son asks me all the time. I'm like, well, I told his therapist, I'm like, it's because he's a Sagittarius. And he's like, what does that even mean?
I can hear him in my head.
Like, what does that mean? That was weird. What did you tell him?
I was like, I was like, it's because we were doing schoolwork, and he was being stubborn and didn't want to do it, and then after he did do it and caught on to what he was doing, he's like, oh yeah, no problem, I got this.
Yeah, Taurus energy.
And then the oldest was like, that's just your sign, that's why you're like that. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, your stubbornness.
Taurus, to me, okay, so Taurus are like, to me, they are so chill and calm, and they're usually gamers, you know, and they're just like these nerds, and they're like super smart and chill. Like, I feel like if I'm gonna smoke with a female, it's gonna be with a Taurus or Capricorn, obviously. But,
I was gonna say, excuse me.
So Justin, you know, when he was alive, he was, I mean, in death, I'm sure he's still a Taurus, but you know, he was a Taurus, and his was May 4th. No. Oh God, I forgot the birthday. Okay, so yeah, his is the 4th because the whole
May the force be with you.
Yeah. And then my stepdaughter's was on the 5th for Cinco de Mayo.
Dang.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like, but I remember he was, you know, he was a big gamer. He got me into games, and then he was just so chill for the most part, except for when I was like being so dramatic. Rocked his world, baby. Best, you know what, ever.
We might as well be the harlots at this point.
I know. I'm
the harlots of Spook Talk, because I think the last few podcast episodes, the last few lives, we have just...
I think it's just in my nature. I think I've always been like that.
I honestly think, like, back in the day, we were probably harlots, honestly. Come on now. You've seen our Renfest costumes.
Yeah, now they're like, yes, her karma now should be a fat harlot. You know what I mean.
Harlot?
Oh my God, why do I feel like that's going to be one of your clips on here? You're going to be like, hey, I got a clip for social media. Like, holler.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's fine. It'll be good.
So, okay. So, what do you think? Like, what is your theory? Like, what happens after death?
Like, I don't really have a theory on what happens after death, but I think what I want to what I want to be a thing is that I can pick if I want to stay as a ghost or and like haunt somebody, but not scary haunt unless they deserve it. But like
Well, they always say,
prankster haunt.
yeah. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No.
Not like bad prankster. I'm talking about. Remember when um
That'd be a
supposed
haunting.
to let somebody out the house, and I was
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
like, oh no, the door's shut. Poor you. Except it's gonna be reversed, but this person will be trying to walk out the door, and then I'll be like, "Ha, just kidding, you're
No,
not," and shut the door.
right. Hopefully, I die before you. But in the off chance that that's the opposite, um, please don't haunt me. Like, just show up in my dreams and say hi.
So
Because if I see a door close in front of me, I'm gonna be like, ha, ah!
so I think for you, if I was gonna like make my present known to you, I'd wait till you were like laying in bed and be like, "Hey, you want to get Whataburger?"
I'd be like, oh my god, I think I heard she wants Whataburger. What? Oh, I've lost it. That's exactly what's gonna happen. I'm like,
if
oh
you know, you know.
yeah. Well, that's what I was doing last night. I'm like, I want Whataburger. I need a cheeseburger. And then I ordered McDonald's today to finally get my cheeseburger.
And let
you
me
know
guess,
what
it
happened?
was messed up.
You know why?
Why?
Because Malin. I got Malin's freaking burger.
Oh.
I cried a little. I was like, oh man, there's nothing on here except for freaking pickles. So I ate like 1 or 2 bites because it was just dry, and then I was like,
you know, you probably have ketchup in your refrigerator.
it's too much work. I just want to relax. I'm on vacation. Like, I'm over here like.
Oh my gosh, I had like mashed potatoes is my safe food right now, and all I want is mashed potatoes.
Wait, why are you? Why is it a safe food?
I don't know. It's just like the only thing that tastes good right now.
Oh really?
I'm pretty sure it has something to do with my like ADHD nonsense.
I remember what I could and couldn't eat when I was pregnant.
I am not. That is not it.
I'm trying to speak it into existence for you.
No, thank you. If that would happen, I would have to either build on or buy another house. No, thank you.
You could put the baby, just put the baby in Serenity's room, and you don't have to worry about her having kids. Be like, oh look, you got.
I'll just bring it to your house and be like, it's your turn. You're the one that spoke this into existence.
I'd be like, okay, and as soon as it poops, I'm like, okay, I'm out.
That's when you hand it. That's when you hand it to somebody else that lives with you.
You'd be like, no, I didn't sign up for this. Oh,
be like, but it's little and innocent and cute.
I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just take it because I got
you. Yeah.
I was like sitting up in bed yesterday, or that was a couple nights ago, and I was like, oh, I just want a little baby with the baby hands and the baby feet and the baby back, and then I tell him the next day, I'm like, you know what was so crazy? Because he was like in it half asleep, and he was like, no, and then he woke up, and I was telling him, I said, isn't that so crazy? You were talking in your sleep. You said that you wanted a baby with the little toes and the hands. And he was like, no, I don't. I'm like, well, you might. I mean, you said it, not me.
That was your idea, not mine.
I just want somebody to have a baby that lives like close, and then I can babysit. That's all. Sorry. Hey, look who it is. It's Levi. Welcome to the show. We're talking about life after death, except for we got sidetracked, Ted.
We did. But that's what lives are for, right?
Yes.
Getting off topic.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of just have a subject there so we don't have nothing to talk about.
It's like squirrel.
ADHD brain over here.
Yeah, so I know while I don't know how long I've known you. I don't know, it's been forever.
Forever and ever.
I think it was I think I met him after Justin. I don't remember if it was after Justin or before Justin. But it was forever ago.
You are really struggling over there. Just remember what happened earlier. Be careful.
I know. I don't know my own strength sometimes. I'm just excited. I never get dressed up, and I never I'm just like a plain Jane T-shirt. Like when we record, for the Fridays, I'm like, or the podcast, I'm like, whatever. But then I'm like watching and I'm like, God, girl, you need to get it together. So I'm gonna start getting it together. That's my fall year's resolution.
I told my husband I'm gonna start getting different clothes. Probably around the first year. I'm gonna get more. I don't know what kind. I'm gonna go for kind of like what you're wearing right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna embrace my I don't know, I just like wearing black. So I was kind of like, I'm gonna change my wardrobe again.
So I want to change my hair color. I want to do black, but I also want rainbow in there.
So that would be cute. I thought about just bleaching some right here and doing black. Yes, so then that would have been after Justin passed away. Bless your heart, I'm sorry. That was I was a hot mess in 2012, y'all. Can we just forget about that the whole year? 2012, 2013, I was at my worst. And then I got married in 2014, and then I was just a hot mess. I don't know who that married lady is. And then 2018 was starting to look a little bit better.
Just a little?
But it was still a mess because I got a divorce, and then...
Oh, hell.
I don't think I've been as chill as since I met you.
Yeah, are you talking about me? You haven't been chill since you met me?
I haven't been this chill. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, what did I do?
So, as you come on, say hello. We want to hear your theories about what happens after death. We've kind of gone over it a little bit.
Yeah. And we're squirrel. You know that dog from Up? That's what we are tonight. Ooh, squirrel.
Oh, squirrel. Well, that's every single... And then when we were recording the last one, I was so out of it. I was like...
You know, you know the you know those scary movies where the person is taken over by something, or I don't know how to describe it, but they're there but they're not there.
Oh, I like the P word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was like in some of those clips.
And then I was like, oh my God, she posted it. And I was like, why?
Well, I mean, I didn't have a lot of clips to work with.
Well,
so
I was so groggy, and then I tried to go back to sleep twice, and I just, as soon as I went back to sleep, and then I had to get up, and I was like, and then going into the night, I was trying to stay up a little bit longer, and I just couldn't. I went to bed at 1, which seems pretty late, but for me that's pretty early. Yeah.
Well, with this new work schedule, I'm gonna be in bed I'm gonna be like a grandma. It's gonna be weird.
I don't know. Well, maybe. But it's fall time, so like last fall you were up all night, so I'm kind of hoping we'll switcheroo a little bit. You know, like
Well,
let
that's
me
what
go to sleep.
happened last year. I don't know why it got switched.
You did this to me.
I had no. And I still have like my freaking weird energy thing. Like I've been able to get a lot of stuff done, and I don't even know how. If you ask my dad, it'll be because he brought me a lawnmower.
Well, I am so. I think I'm kind of alongside Raven. Like I am so exhausted, but I'm glad I have these days off because like the rest of the week. So this will be my first weekend off in forever. So I think my body was like even when I tried to cancel it, my boss was like, no. So this is October is my supposed to be relaxed, but we'll
Good luck. It's October.
I want to go do stuff. I want to go outside, but every time I go outside, I'm like, I don't want to go inside.
So I was looking for like fun stuff to do on like Fridays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
There's like nothing. It's all on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
well, this is my. I wanted to go to a pumpkin patch this weekend. They had 3 open. Um, so we'll see. I haven't even talked to homeboy about it. I never know what to call on here. Like, do I say his name?
he
Like,
is
I don't
he is
care.
he off all weekend?
Yep. And so,
Tim has to work.
which is so weird because I thought, you know,
Yeah.
I thought it was opposite.
Oh yeah. No. Well, Tim has to work Sunday, and then he's off for 2 days after that,
For
and then
his
he works for 5. So.
So Brandon was off 3 of the 4 days that I'm off. So today was the day that I can relax. But there was no relaxing because I had a whole bunch of stuff I needed to do. So tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. Whenever we record. Tomorrow night.
I was gonna say we record the podcast tomorrow night.
Yeah, so what am I going to do during the day?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we had stuff planned for tomorrow day, but then it got changed, so I have no idea.
Okay. I'm trying to see if this has the whole story. This one was just like a short story about the afterlife, but I don't know if it has everything.
Let's see.
Oh, I think it's just a short read. Okay, so this is someone that went on Quora, whatever you say.
Uh-huh.
It says 10 years ago I was a collection of a short story, usually humorous, about what could happen after we die. I think it had a blue cover and it was written by one author. One specific story I remember is that we all go to a waiting room when we. Hey, that's what I said. When we die, and we have to stay there until no one in the world remembers who we are. As society's outcasts and the forgotten were the blessed with the quick, painless afterlife. But the world's greats, who were remembered for centuries after their death, were tortured while sitting in a waiting room waiting for humanity's memory of them to fade. Well, that sucks. I don't think that's true. What did I just read?
I
don't know about all that. Okay.
I don't even know what to say.
Some people just believe nothing happens, which I still can't. For the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around it. Like, and that's cool that people believe in that, but that's what keeps me up at night. You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so nothing's gonna happen. No, nothing. Well, it was just dark. Okay. And then what happens? No, that's it. And I'm like, so you're just left alone in your thoughts in the dark. Did you know if you're in a cave for 15 minutes in the complete dark with nobody around that you will go insane? Did you know that? So after you die, you're telling me that you're being tortured. Like, So if you go into a dark cave, like you're stuck in there, you have no light, no candle, no nothing, just complete darkness. Nobody's around you, you don't hear anything. If you're standing there for 15 minutes, that is when you start going clinically insane.
What?
So, you're telling me, when we die, we're going to sit in the dark with nothing and go clinically insane. And then what if, hold on, let me spiral out here for a second, okay?
Okay.
What if that guy was right? What if we do go into a room, but it's completely dark and we don't see anything, and then we torment ourselves by overthinking everything? So you're telling me that we have to really grieve people for 3 days and then let them go? Hell no. If you die, like, I'm going to remember you forever. I just had another friend die, and I'm going to remember him forever, you know?
Yeah.
I hate getting old anyways
now. My grandma was just telling me today that, like, everybody she knows is dead.
Yeah, that's what my Nana tells me all the time. She's like, oh, I just get real homesick, you know? Like, just, and I mean, I get that, but I don't get it because I don't know, but, you know, imagine like everybody that you know is just passed away and you're stuck with your great-grandchildren telling you what's what. You know?
Yeah. That could be aggravating.
Yeah. I think that's why old people can sometimes be very aggressive. The nicer ones seem to be the ones that are blessed with friends and family to take care of them, and they have the extra help, and the insurance actually works. Don't even get me started on healthcare.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. I'm going to share some stories if you're cool with that.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh, this mascara. Okay. This one's kind of long, but I'll try to get through it. Oh, wait. I don't know. This might be sweet. I don't know. I don't know. Is it a real one? I don't know if it's a real story. I don't want to do it. It's not a real story.
Did you know that Instagram, you have to be, your account has to be 30 days old before you can go live on it?
I didn't even know I could go live on Instagram.
Yeah, apparently you can.
Oh, nice.
But our account on Instagram is not that old yet.
So here's one on Reddit. I do love Reddit. So
Reddit is full of all kinds of things.
I freaking love it. So this is a story. I don't know. Do we share the names? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's called "My Aunt Told Me What Happens After Death." My aunt was pronounced clinically dead and came back. What she described haunts me because I'll never know the true until it's my turn. Can you hear all that fan in the background?
I can hear fan, yeah. I just didn't notice it until you said something.
Should I turn it off?
That's entirely up to you.
Oh no. Okay, so she won't know until she's dead. Okay, so she describes staircases rising into the cosmos. She's taken them, and there are several doors and heading into a language she cannot understand. At the door, she meets an avatar who signals to her touch and something like part of the step where the doormat goes, but there's no doormat. And when you look down to see the solar system, that's right, infinite solar systems, she says what she perceives something like a celestial being meeting the avatar, and the door opens. Before she can touch the step, the exchange between the oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Is an agreement that it's not her time. She falls back down painfully into her body. Waking up, she recalls that there are several doors, each belonging to a different age-old belief. Hindu, which is her, Christian, heaven and hell, Valaha and other doors that are simply from old age religions. Now, mind you, my aunt knows nothing about Norse mythology, so when she said Valhalla, how do you say that?
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Okay. And other doors that are simply from age old religions. Um, okay. So when she said that, she actually described the door with knots, and I whipped open a book, and she said, yeah, like that. So I'm guessing that Valaha, it's Valaha since I showed her the Nordic knots. Some doors were broken because no one worshipped believed anymore. Some were locked. She didn't understand what they meant. Some doors were swallowed by blackness. Hell was one, so it seemed like evil belief system dwell on the versions of hell or other beliefs. She says she faintly heard my uncle's laughter in the heaven door, which she was confused about because he was Hindu. My uncle actually gave his life to Jesus on his deathbed in some of his final breath, but she didn't know that. Anyways, she comes back. The conclusion to her experience was that when we died, we go according to our beliefs. I'm Christian and my life partner is atheist. I cry when I think that I could have 2 lifetimes with him, but it possibly be only 1 lifetime. It made me realize finiteness of smile. Infinities? Finiteness? That's what it says. It says of laughs, smiles, and his cute way of saying, huh? After I've said something silly. He's my soulmate in my lifetime, so whenever I remember this, I feel very sad in this moment because 1 lifetime with him is not enough. At the end of the day, my aunt could be wrong or right. Christians could be right or wrong. Anyone could be right. We all could be wrong. But how sad is it that one day one of us could be right and our loved ones, we may not only have them in this lifetime. Okay, and then stop fighting about it. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Cherish your loved ones. She's right. You know, that's pretty interesting. I kind of have that theory too. Like, what if it just went off your religion? You know,
What if it's different for everybody?
that's what I'm saying. Like, but what if
Like,
you could still see the people that were wherever you go?
hmm.
So so my nana, she had um, she had switched up her medications by accident years ago. There was
Mm-hmm.
2 experiences she had with this, but one of them we didn't think she was going to make it, so we drove down the 3.5 hours to go see her. And me and my sister were sitting in the hospital room with her, and we're just kind of talking, and she's still kind of like, she's just, I don't know, she's just sitting there. It was weird. It was a weird vibe. Anyway, so she was saying, she's like, I had this weird dream, and that caught my attention, you know, like,
Yeah.
and my sister Katha was there, and she says that. Sorry, let me try to remember this. She was dying, and there was like she knew all the doctors and the nurses were around her, and she was like kept asking them, "Hey, do you know God? Have you met God?" Uh, and like trying to convert these people into Christians, basically, which is what she's done her whole life. And she was just trying to save them, I guess.
Hmm.
But the more she talked, she could hear their muffling, talking, but she couldn't actually see them. They were just shadows. What my interpretation of it was like, okay, so you know the veil thinning.
Yes.
It's kind of sounded like there was a veil in front of her, but she couldn't quite get to the other side because it wasn't her time, right? So
Yeah.
she was kind of like depressed about it for a little bit. She was like, well, I guess I haven't really saved anybody. And I was like, well, that's not true. You brought people to be saved plenty of times, you know, and it was just really interesting. But I was like, that's a near-death experience right there. And she was like, now she says, no, no, no. I guess it was.
No, no, no. Yeah.
Yes, it was. If she would have cut the veil, then she would have died.
Yeah.
But we don't do that in Christianity. That's a no-no. Anyways.
So, you think people can pick who they go see? Like, if somebody dies and they want to go see one of their family members, do you think they get to pick which one they go see?
I don't think so. I feel like it's kind of whoever is there, because I've thought about that a lot. Like, I envision like flying and like who's going to be there flying with me. So most of the time, I think it's going to be Justin, but I don't know. That's just. I don't know who. I mean, aside from my grandfather, but I think he has better things to do.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Do you think spirits attend their own funerals?
Yes. That was the other thing. That was before the box, or during the box, or whatever. Yes. And they are always at their funerals. It never freaking fails. If you see ghosts and you go to a funeral, if you don't see them, I don't know, but
Do you
all time.
So you can see ghosts,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
what do you so if you go to a funeral, do you see a lot of ghosts? If it's not like a funeral home?
You know what I see a lot? Like, there's a church that we don't live far from, that I grew up in, and I swear I don't see angels. Like, nobody does. But again, my theory. I feel like there's more angels in their room than there's ghosts. But there is a part of that church, where there's a lot of ghosts. It really just depends on the funeral. But I've never been to a funeral where there's like. And again, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But I always see at least one or two.
So here's another question for you, because now my brain's churning. Do you think ghosts can tell people where their bodies is for real? Like if somebody was missing or kidnapped or murdered?
I think it. Yes, I think that if they're called to you. So when you do a reading for like a spirit, when you're like somebody's coming to you and they're saying, "Hey, I want a reading," you're basically going to that spirit and you're tapping on their shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, a lot of times actually, they'll come up to you and they're tapping on your shoulder almost, or they're like, "Hey, I'm here. Let me tell you something," or if you're investigating, you see a picture online, you're like, oh, I have to investigate this. You're going to get whatever information you can. Now, a lot of times, like, I was in those groups for a while where they would all put their theories in, but there would always be, like, that one special person that figured it out. You know what I mean? It was so crazy. I need to get back in that group.
I was gonna say that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it gets interesting, and they'll like put all their theories in there, and it's really good practice. And then, especially like if you find that person.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to be drawn to it. Like, you see pictures all the time of like people going missing, and it sucks. And sometimes I'm more drawn to like share it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel a certain type of way.
There's a somewhat local one that I see every now and again, and it keeps sucking me in,
Which
and I'm
one's
just
that?
like, um, I can't remember his name. He's missing from one of the little towns over here.
Okay, you want to hear a crazy story?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Seadrift. Okay, well, it wasn't Seadrift. It was Port O'Connor. Um,
Uh-huh.
it was when I moved there 2 years ago, and so this
Yeah.
guy, I guess, had a fight with his girlfriend or whatever, and he leaves on his to go into the water with his canoe. Canoe? What
Uh-huh.
was that thing? The long one?
Kayak?
Kayak. Yes. So he takes his kayak into the ocean. By this point, it was like cloudy and the waves were not. This is why I don't like kayaks. It was kind of like the winds were not doing very good. And anyways, I guess at first I didn't know they were even in a fight. I thought he just went missing. Last they saw, he was in his kayak, whatever. Well, they finally found his kayak, but the body was gone. So they went on this huge search for him, and eventually, I guess, I feel like they did find his body, but I could be wrong. I think they did, but I guess he must have hit something in there. That is why I don't like kayaks.
Good to know that you don't like kayaks.
Well, Brandon wants a kayak, and I keep trying to be like, you want to get this boat instead?
Well, before he gets a boat, he should probably get a different vehicle.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yes. I don't really want to go there.
So I'm going to send you this name.
Do you ever feel like, have you ever gone to a funeral and you're like, I bet you they're
here? I mean, I'm trying to remember the last. Okay, so the very last funeral I went to where the body was in a casket, I was pregnant, and I don't remember it very much. And then the one I went to after that, they were cremated, so I don't think so.
Oh. Is it a guy with a bald head and beard?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
This is like it just randomly pops into my head.
Okay, so this was missing from Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
And he last heard from his brother on 10/17/22 after telling he feared his wife may harm him. He says he walked away, but he never do that to his kids, right? So
yeah.
The circumstance was home life had been a turbulent. He warned some his wife may harm him. He had back surgery in September, planning to go back to work in October and fight for their son. He had cameras. He had said there was so much on those, no judge would give her any child. He had backed up to multiple places, but police said they didn't find anything. Her story has changed a lot, and she has failed a poly, but it's just a tool, and they said they need more evidence to proceed.
Yeah. And he's been missing since he was last heard from 10/17/2022. 2022.
Oh wow. I wonder if he was on a booth.
Mm-hmm. But he just disappeared. This one pops into my head every now and then. I'm just kind of drawn to it, and I don't even know why. I don't know. I hope they find him. I hope somebody comes forward.
No, I'm invested. Like, some of these pictures look familiar. Like the one where he's like, I wonder if he's still missing them.
It was last updated the 2nd. So yesterday.
That's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He would have popped up by now if he was just trying to hide.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just.
You're good.
A stupid thought. Like.
I was just looking at the. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Do you? So you've seen the show like Medium and Ghost Whisperer and.
Yeah, the show, is that the one with the medium that sees all the ghosts as
Well,
solid
both
as
of them,
are?
yeah.
I think that's the one.
So one of them has a blonde lady in it, and the other one has a brunette lady in it.
So the lady in real life, like obviously that show is dramatized, but
Yeah.
it's based off of a real lady,
Mhm.
and supposedly she's rude as hell.
Is she?
Yeah, she went on Housewives show one day, and she got drunk, and she was like,
Are you? Oh
"You
my
know this
gosh.
show is based off of me, and da 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 da. You're a bad person."
Are you talking about the one with the long nails and like the Karen haircut?
I don't know. I don't. It's so long. But I'm the one where the show. It's got to be
Oh,
Ghost Whisperer. Now I got to look it up because
you're
there's.
welcome.
But the way that show went. Oh yeah, it
Uh-huh.
is Ghost Whisperer. Oh, that was so dramatized. Like,
Well, yeah. They had to get people
wow.
to watch it.
Her husband died and came back to life in someone else's body. I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
shut the hell up.
I was like, this is weird now.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, I am gonna watch it for background noise.
Yeah,
But
that's.
it used to spook me, like in the beginning, especially, like
Mhm.
the first couple of seasons, like I think three, you know. Oh, some of them I was like,
Oh, I figured out who the person was.
who is it?
It's the one it's based on is Mary Ann Winkowski. I can't say her name. Winkowski.
She was a lot skinnier in the other show.
This is just who it was based on.
Huh. Her name is Mary.
Yeah,
How you like
interesting.
that? You know, I've been coming across that name a lot lately.
Mary.
Like all these Marys been popping up. I'm like, wow, interesting. So I found out I have a new coworker named Mary,
Well,
and
that's fun.
and because somebody went on called right, and they were like,
Hmm.
hey, I just spoke with Mary, and I'm like, really? That's so interesting. I didn't know we had another Mary in our department, and then I look at the notes. Tell me why we did. And I was like, no way, she must be new. So I messaged her because, you know,
Hmm.
and I'm like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. I just noticed that we had another Mary. I'm really happy to meet you. Probably like a weirdo. Probably like a weirdo. But I was, you know how excited I get, okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so nice to meet you. And she's like, oh yeah, that lady I spoke to, she was really sweet. I'm about to clock out. Have a good day. I'm like, no, I need real conversations from you, Mary.
Guess not.
We could have been best friends.
No, that slot's taken. Just kidding.
You know, for some reason, I don't get along with. Like, I do get along with Marys. Like, I always get along with them. But do you know Mary base? It was like known to mean bitter.
Like the bitter old woman or what?
Just bitter. But
Oh.
now they've added more stuff to it, like sensitive and I'm like, I'm all those, but that's because I'm a Cancer.
You're a July Cancer.
That's cool. I'm gonna look up this lady a little bit more. I'm interested. Um, it's wild. And you know,
So,
I've never met a Larissa. Foot and mouth, foot and
it's
mouth.
fine. I
And
mean,
I knew a Clarissa, and I don't like her. And if she ever shows up, I'm gonna beat her up.
so apparently in this town we live in,
Mm.
I have a doppelganger.
Shut up.
Everybody's like, I went to school with somebody that looks just like you, and I'm like, I'm not even from here, bro.
What? Get their name so we can Google them.
I know, right? And I was like, I don't want to meet another me. I can barely handle myself.
That's what my boyfriend said today. He was like, because I've been watching Sister Wives, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh, I've been watching Sister Wives, and I was kind of like, what would it be like to like, would we ever do that? You know? And he said, no, absolutely not. I cannot handle another you and Marie
Yeah.
and Maria. And I was like, well, she's not your wife. And he's like, no, no, she's not. But y'all two together is enough. I'm like, oh.
Well, love him too. I mean, I'm glad that he's honest with himself and he's like, I can't handle another
But
one
that
of
is
you two.
what Homeboy said on the show. He was like, I cannot handle a fourth wife. And then all of a sudden we skip to Robin. And I'm like, and then it even placed a clip back on there on this like last season.
Uh-huh.
It was like, yeah, I can't handle another wife. And I was like, that's what I said you said. Why do you have a fourth wife?
Oh man, I forgot to watch the newest episode today. I also was very busy today with all the book stuff.
Yeah.
So
I understand. I got up late and I did everything and I'm still not done, but oh well.
I decided I am done with like main chores. Like all my laundry's done. It's just not technically put away. Unless you count sitting in a clean clothes basket put away.
Yeah, I'm halfway done with laundry finally. I need to catch up. But that's crazy.
I figure tomorrow I'll dump them all on the table and just put it out, like fold whatever needs folded and hang up whatever needs hung up.
Yes. So, we're running out of time.
I know, but it went by really fast.
Ooh, I was like really surprised because I was like really worried. I know we tend to go off topic a lot, but
Well,
that's the whole point.
We're allowed to go off topic a lot more with the lives than we are the podcast. But if you're not watching our podcast or listening to it, y'all really need to.
Yes, because we're more on, well, everybody else is more on topic. If you're going to watch the one that airs next week, then just don't listen to me. I don't know. I don't know if it was like lack of sleep or.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know I did not have a lot to work with.
I know, and then I went on a tangent, and
I was like,
and then after I did, I was like, why would I do that? And I just stood there like, God, what is wrong with you? And then I was like, y'all were talking, and I'm like, I gotta go lay down. I'm like, just video chat me, and then we get there, and I'm like, okay, let me just close my eyes for 5 minutes. I'll get there.
Maybe you need some vitamins. Maybe you need some vitamin D.
That's what I was going to say. I need the vitamin D. If you're downstairs and listening.
If you're watching, be prepared.
Be prepared. Alright. I love that.
We need to have a serious conversation about our names.
Yes.
Because this is turning into instead of the really long name of Spook Talk with Marie and Maria Women Interrupted, we could really cut that down and just be like Spook Talk, Harlots of Spook Talk.
I really like that name, but I was like, I don't want to ask, to rechange everything. This is our break.
Because it's really a long name to write out.
Well, I usually put Spook Talk with MM, but then we have MMR.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we need to just think about that Harlots of Spook Talk thing.
I'm down with it. We just, we gotta sit down and all talk about it. Right?
Because I can have new pictures in like 5 seconds.
Yes, I'll take some new pictures. My wings are popped.
Oh no.
Well, that's all the time we got for today, folks.
Okay, bye everybody.
If you have a story to share, just like and subscribe. We love you guys. Stay out of trouble.